What's going on, guys? It's me, Shugashu. We're back with another umamusume video. This video, we are going to be training Yamanin Zephyr for today's video. Just wanted to try different I did take a look at what other umas I wanted to try. I even decided, like, which Kita actually is best for mile distance. And I guess looking through it, between the normal one and the New Year's one, it seems like the New Year's one might actually be better, even for the mile distance one. I think. But I'll see if I train Kita tomorrow or next week or whenever the CM gets closer. We'll see. But today's video, Yamanin Zephyr. For the setup, pretty much the same setup if my game didn't just ultimately freeze. I think it did. Well, it's funny because on my actual tablet screen, it's not frozen. So, are we back? I think we're back. Yes, we are. Okay. Just making sure that it's an OBS and all that. Alright, we're good, right? But anyways, for the setup, it's pretty much the same because leader, mile distance. So, just using the same setup I have always used for the other leaders training for the CM. 2 speed cards in Teo and Almond Eye. Borrowing the Daring Heart, Guts card, Forever Young Wise, Tamamo Power, and then Tazuna Friend card. And that will be pretty much it for the setup. Same old for the leaders, unless I were to use Almond Eye. But I was thinking about training her, but I think I'm just gonna wait until all the free pulls are done. For the banner. That way I can see where I stand with the speed card. So far it's been, it could be better. it definitely could be better. But it is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is, I suppose. But yesterday was probably the hottest day so far, I think, because it was like 105. And then at nighttime, like 9, 10-ish p.m., it was still in the high 80s, like close to 90. I did not know how to react. At least outside it was. It was just like, dang. Not even opening the windows. If you wanted to get some cool night air, you won't be getting that in a night that warm or hot, so to speak. Actually, this whole week has been pretty much in the hundreds. Today, I believe it's still going to be 100. I think the day before yesterday was like 101 or 102. And then if it wasn't the hundreds, it'd be like high 90s. I'm just like, dang. But probably another month or so of this weather and it will cool down a little bit. Just a little bit. I guess depending if it decides to actually decide to be fall or winter. If it doesn't, well, it's just gonna be warm. But not like summer. But we'll see. Or at least I'll see. But yeah, let's see. I mean, on my fan, it does say it's 85 in the room, and it's literally 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. And it's already 85 in my room. Actually, it's been pretty much 85 in my room since, for consistently throughout the night. I think it was. But the 85 at night isn't as bad as an 85 plus in like close to noon up to like, or just the afternoon in general, if I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, it's been a warm week, or a hot week at the very least. At the very least? I think the hottest week so far. And also I did catch up in the Star Rail story, at least the main story. There's another like 3.5 or 4 hours I need to do for the, I guess, side story, the side summer story. That was an alright chapter. It was more of a, well, the beginning, I got what I wanted. Like, well, actually, let me think about it. It was okay. It was alright. Like, I did get what I wanted. I didn't get the just a cliffhanger. It was an actual continuation from where we left off. That part was good. But for the most part, I think it was just kind of a filler, considering it was on the shorter end. I think. And I thought, well, it kind of explained why it went this route in a way, because it's at the end of the last chapter. I was kind of like, kind of a cliffhanger. If this is the end of Plan Arcadia, but at the same time, it isn't. So there's still more to Plan Arcadia. Maybe another patch or two, depending on what they decide to do. Maybe another patch, I would say. No, actually, could be two. Could be two. Thinking about it now, it could be two. But we'll see. Other than that, yesterday I pretty much did more catching up on sleep, so to speak, in a way. I don't know if it really was catching up in sleep when it kind of just resulted in me getting less sleep. I don't know how that works. Anyways, because normally when I was falling asleep at night before when I wake up around dailies, and then I'd be up pretty much until nighttime. The whole day and all that, doing recording, obviously going out, doing any errands and all that, my usual daily stuff, and then when I get home, my free time. I did get the Star Wars story done after I did take a nap during the day. And then at nighttime, I don't know. It felt like I didn't sleep as much. But it is what it is. I feel fine right now. I feel fine right now, but what I hate about summer, one of the other things I hate about summer, the heat, you just don't want to do anything when it gets hot. You just don't want to do anything when it gets too hot. I think that's pretty normal. I think. So I'm just like, maybe that's why I ended up napping. Although that was probably one of my first naps in a while, because normally I'd just be up and about. Normally. But it is what it is. Although I do still need to do the side story for Starville, I did take the other time to, or I did take the time to 80% exploration in the moon for Genshin, and then I guess in turn now I can focus on Shnezanaya. I could say my Sandrone is already finally built. Finally, I say. Because for whatever reason, Genshin always takes me a long time to... Actually, this is probably faster than normal, even though it's like a patch late or two. I think it's just a patch. Yeah, patch late. Right? I think. But for an example of me having a late build to characters, I pretty much just finished building my Yaimiko yesterday also. Or yeah, yesterday pretty much. Why so late is because when I pulled for her, I ended up not using her. Well, I didn't. I think I put it on a rerun. I think that also played a factor to it. Right, because Inazuma was using Yoimiya and or Ayaka, either or, for the most part, for like a while. Like for a good while. Until like... Until when, would I say? Honestly, probably until... I want to say Fontaine. Because even though I did pull for Nahida and Sumeru and all that, I don't think I ever really used a like Nahida's team for a while or a long time, or at the same time, I don't think I even completely built my Nahida team. I did try, I know that for a fact, but I think I just stuck to my Yoimiya or Ayaka team at that time. Because it wasn't until like Fontaine when I really did change my team, because it swapped from what I was using into Navia and Farina with Zhongli and Bennett. And then I used the Natlan team for Natlan for a while, actually. Until Skirt with Sitlali. Which I still use until now. But I might swap. Well, I'm actually going to swap it because I want to use my Sandrone team. But I need to finish building one of the Shnezanaya characters. He's a 4-star. I think I mentioned him. It's like basically the Shnezanayan Bennett. So I guess I'm just gonna be swapping between teams, ice teams. So they're both ice teams. One's a freeze team and one's a stellar conduct. I forgot what it's called. It's a new reaction, so we'll see. Other than that, I didn't really do much in the other games. Pretty much just focus on Genshin and Star Rail. There was Beyond the Rails also, but that didn't take too long. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and I believe as of right now, while I'm recording, I think the alt Groza for GFL2 is out as of right now. Because when I was doing dailies, when it reset it, she wasn't there yet. But I think right now she is. Maybe I'll do my polls during global recording. Maybe. Maybe. But I'll let Nova at least know about my polls later in tomorrow's video. But I guess with that being said, I can get started with the comments. And then maybe, hopefully, maybe we can bring this video down to like an hour and not get close to like an average of an hour 15 to close to an hour and a half. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna refresh this one more time just to be sure. Although I'm not comfortable with how low stamina is, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. So for the comments, let me scroll through, load everything up. Okay. Nova, Tanoki, and Kazuki, alright. I guess the first comment we'll be going over is from Kazuki, since he only got one. And it says, by the way, there's this event that I played in a Chinese server of Uma that I don't know the name of. Wait, you played the Chinese server? You played the server before you focus on the JP server last year? Wait, did you play the Chinese server when it was released? I'm confused. I'm confused. In a way, I'm kind of like, I need an explanation now. But let's continue. Basically, you will defeat numerous Umas. I don't know if it's a player or just a bot, but the name is much of a player, I guess. Like, first, it's A rank, 10 each per ticket. Then if you beat it all, it will jump to A+, then S, S+, double S, S+. If you manage to get here, there will be a UG along the way, and so on and so forth. By the way, I don't know if it's the old version of League of Heroes or Masters Challenge, or if it's a different event. That sounds like nothing we've ever had. Definitely not League of Heroes, because you're using 5 tickets at a time once you leave. Not once you get into silver rank, so no. Master Challenge was never like that, if I'm not mistaken. And as for a different event, that doesn't sound familiar to me at all. It doesn't. Actually, wait. Could it be? Even if, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to let the others see if they remember an event like this, because this doesn't sound familiar at all. But a part of me is like, was there that one event? So I'm not sure. There's also a green ticket to use if I remember correctly. You can get points like to advance from A rank to A plus, and you can only use one Uma. There's 3 use. Once you use all of it, that Uma can't be used anymore. A green ticket? We have something like that? A green ticket? A green ticket? Not a green medal, right? But this green ticket? I just know it's a green ticket. That's why I went out, because I was curious. I was like, wait, do we have a green ticket thing? I honestly don't know what this is about. I'll be honest. I'm gonna be honest, I honestly don't know what that's about. So whoever knows about that green ticket, please let me know. I've been curious about it this whole time and I kept forgetting about it. So please let me know if you know about it or if you use it at all, because I know for a fact I don't. And then Nova says, wait a minute, Chinese server? And then I guess in Chinese with a question mark. I don't know what it I don't know what it means or says. What it means, like WTF or something. What if it means like WTF? Or maybe it just means my brother, because that's what you put right beside it. It probably means my bro or something like that, or my brother or something like that. just assuming because you put it right beside it. Other than that, thank you Kazuki for the comment, and Noah for replying. Appreciate as always. Appreciate as always. Next comments we'll be going over is from Tanoki. First one says, more like I hear and file away for deletion. Only thing I remember was you raging at Eugen for sucking a shoot. Well, that was more. It did happen quite a bit over the months that Eugen was playing. Only because literally he didn't have any complete builds. If I'm just gonna bring it back up, I don't think any of his characters really had a complete build going on from the last time I remember. Maybe at least like the main. I don't even know what number to name to say. It definitely didn't feel like he had his characters built. And I think that was the main difference on why he couldn't beat anything. Or beat Shu defense. He could beat the normal stuff, but yeah, I would say that's probably the main reason why he wasn't able to beat Shu defense. But I'm more surprised that you remember that, because it did die out over time. Because it felt like it definitely felt like at one point Eugen did just stop playing the game. So I'm more surprised that you remember that than, which is also Zenless and not Wuwa. When I feel like I may have talked about Wuwa a lot more than Zenless, I feel. Noah says, oh no, the Shu thing is probably the most recurring scolding that Shushu did. You could say it had a lot to do with how Eugen was talking about it. Yeah, I can agree it had to do, I could say that it had a lot to do with how Eugen was talking about how he was playing, or complaining about it. And then Eugen says, I indeed suck at Zenless, just a dead brain noob button smashing. Even I give a little effort, I feel frustrated not meeting the goal. Well, it was the easy. It is still the easiest between a deadly assault and, well, I guess it could be debatable, because the only thing that made the updated between the two, Deadly Assault and Shield Defense, was Deadly Assault's updated version is more made for whales. So even being Nova is kind of like, eh. So I think I would say that the updated Shield Defense would probably be a little bit harder than Deadly Assault, only because if you take away the updated Deadly Assault, then Deadly Assault is pretty much the same. So I guess Deadly Assault is technically the easiest one now. Technically, but Shield Defense feels no different, so I guess it depends on the individual, but Zenless hasn't really. Oh, and then also there was the other one, I forgot, the Simulacra one. I haven't really talked about that one. Actually, I don't think I even posted anything about the Simulacra. I think that's what it's called, but whatever. But whatever. But thank you, Nova and Eugen, for replying. Moving on with another Tanoki comment. Oh, 2K similar to FIFA? Yeah, I would say so. Because I don't think there was ever like a basketball manager game, which is why. And I believe we already kind of talked about this back when we what was it, a month or two ago, when the whole numbers thing, and it got me talking about fantasy basketball and all that. That was the reason why I brought up fantasy basketball, because that's more, to me, closer to what you were talking about in Football Manager compared to 2K. And I do remember mentioning 2K more like FIFA at that time. So yeah, I don't think this was the first time I mentioned it, but yeah, that's the reason why I brought out the whole fantasy sports thing, because in a way that seems more closer. In a way, I wouldn't say completely, but for like managing your own team and all that, except IRL, except on IRL sports, that was the closest I got to it. But no wonder you don't feel engaged for more than 4 in-game months. Nah, I'm talking about 4 actual 4 actual months, like IRL months. I would say like 3 or 4. Well, it depends what we're talking about in 2K. It's more like I could probably finish most of the first season in the My Career mode, if not finish it. If we're talking about the team or team managing part of the game, whether you can do a fantasy draft and shuffle all the teams, or manage the team as it is, that one I could do a few seasons out of it. In-game seasons. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Wow. I kind of hope it was going to work out, but I guess not. I guess not. We could technically, no, we can't. I was like, we could technically do that again, but FIFA is just a glorified vehicle for streamers to about pulling for players. I guess most of 2K and Madden has gone that direction also, with the in-game, I guess, in-game TCG aspect of it. They do have that, so I didn't care about that at all. That was probably one of the things I cared about the least in those games. And then Onova certainly means sports in general, not just sports. After an impassioned monologue where you declared numerous earth-shattering personal convictions, he'll drop the "It's just sports, bro" in response. Honestly, I think another aspect of where it didn't really bother me is Just knowing that Nova, um, hold on. I guess we'll do this. Just knowing Nova doesn't seem like the type to be really into sports. So coming from him just feels kind of shallow and unimportant. So yeah, that's probably another reason why I didn't care as much. Or I didn't care at all, so to speak. The only way you'll get me going is when it's like an actual debate and we're actually talking about the same sport, and I know you're actually into the sport. I ain't gonna have no debate with someone who who doesn't give a crap about the sport I care about. So, although credit to Nova for knowing at least for naming 3 basketball players that played for the Lakers or is recently just played or is currently playing. And rest in peace in Kobe, since it was recently Kobe Bryant Day at August 24, just because it was both his numbers. But yeah, I can't really be triggered by a basically non-sports fan. Basically. And I can't really get, like, I don't know, triggered or whatever if you were to do it, because it's like we both care about 2 different sports. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I can't even talk about your sport. So, or even to a certain extent, yeah, I can't. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think that's it for all the comments from Tanoki. So yeah, thank you Tanoki for all the comments. Appreciate as always. And the last comments we'll be going over is going to be from Nova. The first one saying, so I did try to parent train with the new Umas, or new Uma, because I heard she is good for runner and leader, but I just didn't realize that it's only applicable for 2K or more distance. This leads me to think that Cygames might consider releasing Umas catering to the races below 2K. Is it because of her unique? I don't entirely remember. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Pretty much limited to 2,000 plus, but that's honestly a good amount of races, so it's not that bad. But it doesn't really matter for this CM because it's 1,800 if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, because it's the highest of mile distance. 2,000 is like the lowest of medium distances. So yeah, you would have to build her later. Build that parent later, I guess. I guess for any of the upcoming CMs, that's 2,000 plus, which is majority of them, if I'm not mistaken. Should I just do this? Nah, we'll just train. Eugen says, how? I don't know how to train. Uma also parent training. And Nova says, you know how to put Uma in the oven? Auto, baby. I'm pretty sure, Eugen, you know how to make parents. I just don't think you've been doing it recently. But, if anything, I'm the one who doesn't really make any parents at all. But those new Fire Emblem character designs are looking good. A lot of chocolate mamas. I honestly haven't seen anything. But I do remember you mentioning chocolate mamas. Which I'm kind of just like... I guess I'll figure out in, what, 2.5 weeks or so? Or less? I guess I'll figure out then. Now the question is, Shushu, are you looking forward to Silver Palace more or Ananta? I'm looking forward to Promelia the most, honestly, since that was on my radar for a very long time. They aren't releasing a global version anytime soon, so I'm going to have to pick either JP version or Taiwanese version. Usually JP version is a safer bet since they have a pretty solid fan base as well as many live stream rewards. Well, I'll be honest, because I played Silver Palace's demo in Anime Expo, I'm gonna say Silver Palace because I honestly did really enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. So just because of that, it kind of just has a biased pick towards it, but I'm being honest here. Just because I already had experience playing the game, so I'm gonna go with Silver Palace. As for Azure Promelia, I think I'll give it a shot. I'll play it, but I'm not gonna post it or anything. Only because it's gonna be in JP. I'm just kind of like, eh. If I do decide to, well, we'll see. But as of right now, I'm kind of more like, I'll probably just play the JP side on my own time. But I'll just between those two. It's funny how you made me choose between two and then chose Promelia, which was not part of the two. But yeah, I'm pretty much excited for Silver Palace the most since I played the demo, if anything. And then Eugen says, Anata? I thought it's Ananta that was supposed to be released. Please remind me because I'm interested with the GTA Spider-Man anime. It is Ananta. This whole time, for whatever reason, Nova just doesn't feel like adding another N just to say the name correctly. But this is also Nova we're talking about, where he pretty much mentions characters with a different name because he remembers it his own specific way, unless he decides to actually type their actual name. So this is not a new thing. I just kept saying Ananta the correct way because every time Nova mentions it, just pretty much just autocorrect in my brain. Like I'll read it and I'll see it, but then I'll say the right thing. I'll say the way it's supposed to be said for the most part. It's literally just one letter, so I don't know why he doesn't. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happened. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. And then, is Silver Palace not released? No idea. It's not released yet. It is not released yet. Eugen, the quickest way for you to know that's released is that I have posted a video about it. Let's just put it that way. That or me and Nova would have mentioned it already. Nova says, Silver Palace, no release date yet. Very true. They might release in 2027. Might, because they already had the demo. Game looked pretty well polished already. That was just whatever they... I think they're in the middle of closed beta testing. I think. But we'll see. We'll see. And then next comment. Says, some people still said NT story is worse than WoW 1.0 patches. I don't know about that, Chief. Even if the 999 Nights was a filler, I enjoyed it more for sure. Even the Scarlet Letter arc was filled with more drama than I expected. Honestly, in comparison with the beginning of WoW, it did, in my opinion, have more drama than the main arc, the Threnodian arc with Overthrax and WoW. Because I did like Mount Firmament, so basically everything before Mount Firmament, I'm pretty much comparing it to. I'd say NC's story was, in my opinion, better. If we're talking about the beginning story arcs, I'll pick NCE. As for now, my Taiwanese friend feel about it. He was definitely pissed while watching the final fight scene with Madam T. He doesn't like the narrative. Wait, is he playing NT? I just realized this. Is he just playing it or watching it? Because there's a whole different thing about it. He doesn't like the narrative, the characters, and almost everything about it. I'm gonna say he's not playing it if that's how he feels about it. He said he'll play it after 2 years, but I'm like, that's such a bad strategy. I don't think he played 3.6 Wuwa's story yet, but I think he'll just skip it. People hating on 3.6 is just lame as usual. It's because people are wanting, I don't know, expecting more so early in the arc. That's the only reason I can think of. Or they're just haters as usual. But I agree. Starting a game 2 years later is probably a big no-no. Because even I can't even get into a game months later. Like, if I'm late, I'm late. And I'll most likely not want to play the game if I'm late. That's just how it is. That's just how it is for me, at least. I think Eugen is talking about Linko or whoever that chick with the ghost name is. I don't know. He didn't put a name. He didn't put a name. If we're gonna talk about multiple characters in a single comment, you better be writing their names. He's hoping that he can pair her with Chaos since they're in the same unit lore-wise, but Shushu and I are skipping unless something drastic changes. I believe Linko should work with Chaos, if that's who he's really talking about, because I just realized I didn't get green, and does that most likely means my unique is... Yeah, my unique's gonna be level 4. Well. But yeah, I think Linko should work. I forgot what type she is though. Wait, what type is she? Let me figure that out real quick. And then I'll probably give a better answer. I almost put Zenless. NTE. Okay, my assumption about her being Anima is correct, or remembering that she's Anima is correct. Anima plus... What was that type? Lakshava, whatever it's called. I think it might work. Lakshana, I think is what it's called. Give me a sec to get this. That should work with a charge reaction team, as long as you put a spectral unit, which would probably most likely be 0. So you're probably looking at using Chaos, 0, maybe even Hathor, just to have like 2 Lakshana characters. And then obviously the last one would be Linko. At least that's what I would think. Or you can go... Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Or if you want to use Chaos 0, probably Linko and then Hanyo. Or even Iroi for double Anima, I guess. For more... I don't exactly know what Linko does. I think she is a supporter. So yeah, if you want to just focus on boosting Chaos. Because 0 is a hybrid. In a sense. So... That's what I would say if you really want to go for Linko and use it with Chaos. Speaking to Eugen right now. If that's what he meant. But looks like Little Red Riding Hood from Scarlet Letter will be playable in the future. I don't even remember her name. I'll be honest, if her name was even mentioned. I'm thinking I'd pull for her now, but she's not as cute as Requiem. You know, you saying Requiem is cute is kind of weird, considering that 99% of the time, any other character you're talking about are, I guess in your words, thick mamas. Or has huge assets. Like 99% of the time would be the characters you're talking about. So, and I feel like you've talked about... Yeah, I feel like you've talked about Lacrimosa a lot more than a lot of the other characters in NT, I'm gonna be honest. So that's quite surprising, in my eyes, at least. I mean, pairing Shinku with Hathor is what I saw as the recommendation. Please let one of them be a healer and 1.4. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait. Wait. Why would you be worried about pairing Shinku with a healer if Shinku is supposed to be paired with Iroi, pretty much? Right? Isn't she pretty much paired with Iroi? I can see why Shinku's with Hathor, but that's pretty much it. Hathor might get replaced. Next comment says, Edgar who? Edgar, member of Avon. Edgar, member of Avon. I did remember reading that the LA Lakers name did come from Minnesota. Yes, they used to be in Minnesota. And then they moved to LA. And now Minnesota has their own team still. Or not now, but they've had their own team since for a while. After the Lakers has left. So the fact that you know that, probably you knew that just because you're from Minnesota. I would think that's why you knew about that. And then Tanoki says, yeah, in US sports, teams are franchises. You're not wrong about that. Perfectly normal to put up middle fingers and move to LA for that sweet, sweet moolah. Is that not what it's called? Or is it called clubs? I don't know what it's called in I guess if European, if that's what you're comparing it to. Oops. I guess it would be clubs, right? If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is there another reply from Tanoki or... No, so thank you Tanoki for that reply. Let me know if I'm wrong. Obviously, like I said earlier, in response to your comment that I'm not into soccer or football, so well, I'm into American football, just to get that clear, because people who think when I say just football is American football, I'm talking about soccer. Well, let me know if I'm wrong. I just assume it's called clubs. But thank you, Tanoki, for the reply. Next comment says, yep, Ashtray Horatio, the same devs that left Blue Archive a while back, is going to cater to the Blue Archive enjoy for sure, but the gameplay is similar to HSR. Ooh. I might give it a shot then. I might give it a shot then. Add that to the list. Add that to the list. Thank you, Nova. I did wait for a week or so to pull in Woowa. I just wanted to get more rocks before pulling. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fortune Hills might cost you more than just $90. I did say together they would cost me like 120. I think 120. Yeah, 120. That's a sus Uma, alright. I don't know if she will be playable soon, but usually that's the pattern with side games. We shall see. We shall see. I do have 2 more days of this, so I'm gonna do a day, train, and do another day. Speaking of Genshin, I did watch a YouTuber I follow returning to Genshin just recently, so he skipped right into Snezhnaya. I don't know why you spelled it that way. It's like you were halfway trying to spell something else. Or at least you just weren't spelling it at all. That's what I'm gonna say. And started exploring with like your usual, not spelling it correctly. Somehow you type something else entirely. Somehow, some way. Exploring with his level 70 Lumine. I was like, man, he didn't even have anyone built compared to my account. I don't know. I don't think that went well for him if that's the case. In my defense, I didn't use any blueprints in Valley 4, and I did tell you this before. That was why I decided to start using blueprints once I got into Wuling. I know the basics of factor building thanks to the manual building I did in Valley 4, yet can you imagine Enfield not adding the blueprint option at all? Oh no. If they didn't add the blueprint option at all, I think a lot of people would have dropped Enfield. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I think if they had not implemented it, people would have quit a long time ago. But I think that's also one of the reasons why they simplified it, in a way, in a sense. Even with it being simplified, it still kind of is. Still a lot. It still is a lot, so... Yeah, I'm for the blueprints, only because it does save a lot of people time. And if they didn't, people would have probably left. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. If I remember correctly, Jinzhou is a 7th city. This means we should be coming back to Huanglong more and more in the future. Well, all I know there's Mingting. That's it. After this, I just know there's Mingting. I don't remember any other Huanglong cities. Or yeah. Maybe we will be going into the entirety of Huanglong. Wait, maybe there were other ones mentioned? I just don't remember their names. Like at the beginning of Huanglong and the 1.0 stuff. When Heishin comes out, well, when Heishin comes out, I'll do a more extensive deep dive literally into their differences. And we'll be waiting for you to make your decision until then. I'll bring this question up again later on, because you definitely didn't give us, me and Asta, a answer, even though well, you did say Contarella, but that was before you saw her. Heishin, so yeah, technically you didn't give us an answer after doing the story. So yeah, technically you didn't give us an answer. So I'm gonna ask the question again later on. Oh, you know what, Shushu will have to address this every year until Uma EOS. I already addressed this like more than once this year. So I'll keep doing it if you keep trying to get out of it. And then Nugent says, "Oh." And I think this is the last comment. Oh no, not the Hattori incident. To make you feel any better, Hathor still only has 1 skin. Doesn't count to me, because she is a standard banner character. I did specifically say all the limited characters have a paid skin. Yeah, they do all have a paid skin. That is the main difference. The main comparison I made, along with to also respond to your story importance. Hattori has basically been the main target of the whole story, and she was involved more than Chaos was, regardless. More than Lacrimosa. So, yeah. It doesn't make me feel any better. But Hattori has proven to be more important to the lore with the most recent story. She was important this whole time. It just wasn't made obvious until the literally last part of the story. But she was important this whole time. Maybe she'll shine again in the future. That has no excuse to, like, the other characters that didn't quote-unquote shine in the story. Natalie was basically, you know, half dead. Half gone, in a sense. And she was barely there as much as Hattori, if I'm not mistaken. Lacrimosa was just whatever that one part is. And Chaos was not until the last part. But Hattori was there for the most part, besides her, even if she was just there in the background. She was still there more than most characters. Basically, Abon was there, but you know, Hattori just didn't get anything, so to speak. So yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it for all the comments. Thank you, Nova, Tanoki, Kazuki, and Eugen for replying to the comments, because I believe Eugen didn't actually have a comment. So thank you once again, Nova, Eugen, Tanoki, and Kazuki. Appreciate it as always. And with that being said, let's actually we can get this under an hour if I don't take too long here. So and this training could have gone better, obviously, but some things were a little off. Like I didn't get the Yayoi to orange bond, or was it green? I think green bond before the Spring to No show. So that's why it's at level 4, not level 5 for a unique. And what else? Oh, stamina's pretty low and all that, so it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's Uma specific or whatever, because this is the second Uma that had gotten a lower stamina, but I think it just has to do with the RNG of the training. So we'll just do this and that. Oh. Maybe we'll do Akita tomorrow, but if not, there'll be someone else, obviously. So I would say low UA. UA one where? Very low UA. But yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. We'll just see. I'll pick that one, I guess. But yeah, tomorrow we might do Kita, might not. But 2192 speed, 888 stamina, 1635 power, 1286 guts, 1517 on Wise with S aptitude on both mile and leaders. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let me know how you guys are doing with your training and who you guys are bringing. And if there's anything else you want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again. As always, I'll see you on the next one.